Veterans groups and a member of Congress from Texas are now calling on President Biden to help an Afghan soldier jailed in Texas. Abdul Wasi Safi fought alongside U.S. forces in Afghanistan, but was unable to escape when U.S. troops withdrew from the country. He then traveled on foot and by bus through 10 countries, 3 different continents, to seek asylum in the United States. But he was detained at the U.S.-Mexico border and is now facing the threat of deportation. Joining me now is his brother, Sami Ullah Safi. Sami, thank you so much for joining us. I know the clock is ticking here in terms of a date to sentence your brother to possibly even go back to Afghanistan. I know that's your worst fear here. How is your brother doing?
My brother is currently very disappointed because of how he's being treated by the same very country that he fought alongside in the most difficult moments of his life and the most critical situations of Afghanistan.
Yeah, we should note that both you and your brother helped U.S. military. You worked as an interpreter and came to the United States in 2015 under a special immigrant visa. Your brother stayed in Afghanistan and just left in 2021. Did he apply for an SIV as well?
He was working as a special force officer, and so he was not directly working for United States military. He was part of Afghanistan military, and for that reason he was not qualified for SIV. That's why he could not apply for SIV.
I know he was detained at the border in the fall, as we noted. Some veterans groups and now Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, which represents the city where you are in Houston, have now advocated for his release and for his pardon. She is calling on the White House to step in. Have you been in any communication with the White House? Have you heard from officials at all?
Unfortunately, I have not heard any response back from the White House regarding my brother's situation, even though we provided all the appropriate documents of his service working alongside United States Special Forces in Afghanistan. But unfortunately, I have not been able to hear any response back, even though multiple veteran groups and the congressmen and women have signed letters and sent it to the president, but unfortunately, none of those requests have been responded back by the White House.
How does your brother feel about that lack of communication? And I guess my larger question is, why was it so important for him and for you to work alongside the U.S. military there in Afghanistan?
Me and my brother, we risked our safety and our family safety working alongside United States military. And I'm sure everyone who hears us knows how difficult and challenging it is to work in a country such as Afghanistan with United States government. I worked for 10 years from 2010 to August of 2020 as translator in different parts of Afghanistan. And my brother graduated from Officers Academy in 2018 after receiving combat training from United States Special Forces. He started his job as intelligence officer for Special Force Commando in Afghanistan. But unfortunately, when he arrived into the southern border, after providing all the appropriate documents, he was taken into custody and charged criminally for crossing the border.
Yeah, we were just looking at photos of your brother there working alongside the U.S. military at various points in Afghanistan. If somebody in the White House, if the president is watching this, what message do you want to send about your brother and why it's so important for you to have him released?
My message would be, Mr. President, my brother is not a criminal. He's not a gang member, nor a drug dealer. He came to this country because he had no other option. After the collapse of Afghanistan, the hunt for his life started by the Taliban. He was not going to survive, just like so many of his friends were captured and killed for working alongside United States Special Forces. So he came to the very country who promised we will never leave our allies behind. And he came to this country with the hopes of that his service will be valued by this country that he served alongside. But unfortunately, after arriving, he faces deportation to the country that has no other outcome but to get him captured and killed. So I'm pleading to the president and those who have authorities over this matter to please intervene, step up, and do the right thing.
Well,
as
Sami,
it was promised.
Well, Sami, thank you so much for your time and telling us about your brother. Thank you and your brother both for your service to this country and our military, and please keep us posted on his case. We appreciate it.